now 4:30, at least according to my mom. I hope you can all put your hands together and welcome our host and presenter all the way from Dallas, Texas, on State Tag Advanced Trading Commodity Trading.net. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Thank you all for being here at our automated trading webinar. We want to thank our friend Kathy Meyer for hosting our webinar today. We have exciting things happening with our trading system. We are working and the system is working, reaching new levels in automation. Now first, I must read this risk disclosure. So here it is. Futures trading contains substantial risk and is not for every investor. An investor could potentially lose all or more than the initial investment. Risk capital is money that can be lost without jeopardizing one's financial security or lifestyle. Only risk capital should be used for trading, and only those with sufficient risk capital should consider trading. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Now, today's webinar is focused on diversified trading. We started initially with the Nasdaq index, and that continues. We promised it would work on other instruments. We knew it would, but needed time to develop correct settings. And that process is still ongoing. But we now have gold and crude oil added to our list. Now today, you will see results for two very different type of trading weeks. July 2nd to July 7th, that's through the July 4th weekend, and this past week with July 9th through July 14th. Each week takes about 35 minutes to run in market replay. So to squeeze in 2 weeks, which we've never done before, we will show the beginning and end of the first week and all of the second week in about 45 minutes and look at performance reports along the way. And this is all uninterrupted to give you an idea of how the weeks add up. And if you stay to the end, I will give you a discount coupon. And if you are interested in the system, you can get a discount. If you're an existing member and you're interested because you purchased something before that doesn't include this, you need to give us a call or email us for your discount. Now, what you're looking at on the screen is Nasdaq, gold, and crude oil, 3 different charts. Initially, we started with the spring trade. You get that in the package. This is the springtime trade. It's a takeoff of the spring trade. It trades a little different. It keeps you in the market longer, and the results are very good. This is my normal type dashboard, so I wanted to use this as our backdrop for how you would look and trade 3 different instruments at one time. We have crude oil on the 4 Renko chart. We have gold on the 6, and we have Nasdaq on the 7. Okay, we're going to start the video, and I will talk over the video as we proceed. In the beginning, you hear this little weird noise because the computer ramps up. Now, the white line on the charts represent 5 p.m. Central Time on Sunday night, July 2nd, because that's when we're starting, July 2nd. This is the past 2 weeks. Once you see a blue line, it can take a trade. The market can take it. That particular chart can take a trade. Now, what you've just seen is the Nasdaq get in and go and hit its target. Straight to its target. Okay, now it's in the opposite direction. You don't see a blue line down here on gold or crude yet. This is our stretch system. We make the market, we force it to move one way or another or two ways before we start our trading. We just feel that if it's sideways too much, it can still be sideways, and that's not good. So over time, we've developed this, and it seems to be effective in this market. Now, over here, I have 3 small ninja domes, and each one gives you an idea of what's going on. If they're flat, that's the number. So right now, we can look up here and see the Nasdaq. It has accumulated $260. So it still can trade one more time. We have limited the amount of trades we take because we found that system likes to overtrade unless you put limitations on it. So we've added those. It's several different parameters that stop it from overtrading. Okay, let me explain what just happened here in Nasdaq. It was going to get in, but it didn't, and then it decided it was going to go long, but it missed the trade. Now, what you see here, these yellow dots, are limit orders. A limit order is sitting back here. Well, it missed it. Sometimes you miss it. That would have been a winning trade. But we make it come back a certain number of ticks. And then you just saw one pass by where it changed and went short and hit its target. It's done for the day. It's not going to trade anymore in the Nasdaq. Now, gold, you see the blue line developed here. It got in, it went, it hit its target. We have a low target on gold. It hit its target. It's done for the day. Now, crude oil, a different kind of animal. Crude tried to go long and short. Finally, it got in to go long, and it had crossed over a certain threshold and crossed back. So it gave you a partial win. This wasn't a full win, but it was $105. We'll explain that later if you're more interested in the system, how that works. Okay, so here we are. Crude can still trade because we're almost to the end of the day. At 1500, we shut them down. That's at 3 p.m. Central Time. We operate on Central Time. These systems all were developed on Central Time frame. Regardless what Ninja has in there, when you develop a system on a certain time zone, you should stay with it, because if you change it, it creates complications, believe it or not. Okay, here's the number. I'm going to stop this real quick. I'm going to halt the video for a second because I want to explain what happened here. It's obvious that crude oil, it accumulated $30 here. Gold was $675, and Nasdaq, you know what? We are, I think I moved ahead on the video. Let me back this up. I apologize. I must have hit a button. Let me back up to the first day. If you just bear with me, this is not a disaster. I'll just bring it right back to where it was. Okay, we might have to start this over. It's just possible we do. We will. Okay, I apologize. I hit a button and it fast forwarded. We didn't want to get there yet. So it's just one of those things. This is why we record this shortly before we start trading and put it on the website, because these things can be a disaster if you're not prepared to, in other words, in order not have to reboot the system. I apologize. I think I'm going to restart the whole thing. My apologies. It's my fault. But we do this the best we can. There's a lot of data running through here, and we're just going to run over the same day, the first day again. You're going to see a replay of the day you just saw. I certainly apologize. I'm just not going to be moving my mouse around too much, because by clicking on the chart, it fast forwarded, and we don't want that to happen. Okay. The way we constructed what we're doing here today is you're going to see the first day, and then we're gonna the video, the time clocks are still gonna run, and what I'm going to do is pause it. It's already done. Pause it and start it back on Friday. And so at the end of Friday, we're gonna see the total results for the week. And if you have any doubt of what happened Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday because you don't see it, send me an email and I'll make a little video of it, and you'll see the same numbers and you'll see each day of the week. Because I would love to show it to you, but because we're confined by 60 minutes of time, you can't get it all in. We're going to use the second week, and you're going to see the whole second week, and then at the end of the second week, we're going to see the performance report of the first week and the second week together and combined.
Order pending.
You just saw all of this happen just before I hit the wrong button. But it's the same thing. And then when the first day is over, what I did is I paused the video for you and ran the whole week. I just kept going and ran the whole week. And what happened is it took its normal trades and it added it all up. So the main thing is you cannot interrupt the cycle. So we're going to have from the July 2nd all the way through the July 14th, we run every day. Now, let's talk about July 4th. We have the 2nd is Sunday. The 3rd is Monday. That was a Canadian holiday. July 4th was a U.S. holiday all day. And then on Wednesday was FOMC minutes, and on Friday was the monthly unemployment report. So you had a barrage of news and events and light volume, holiday, all stuck in the middle. Now, we did not do any live trading that week because we decided in advance we would just take the whole week off and work on settings and work on our system. So we did a lot of work. We accomplished a lot, but we did not do any live trading. But we record the market, and the market shows, what it would have been like. Now, as far as July 4th, it's kind of weird the way the market works, because on July 3rd, you got Monday, and then the market opens back up at 5 o'clock. Our electronic market here in U.S. is operating. And then through all night and up until the next day at noon. And then it closes on July 4th at noon. This is the U.S. market. That's their holiday time. Then they open back up at 5 p.m. So it's only 5 hours there that the market is actually closed, where you actually cannot trade. So, okay. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, I'm going to stop the video and explain what just happened. This is where I touched it before and it went too far. What you're looking at, if you look up at the top, you'll see 7-6 at 6:29 p.m. You see this is 5 p.m. here. So this is Thursday evening right here. Now, before we go further, here's what I want to explain. Everything from that $720 that you made on Monday to where we are here at 1625, this is what the system running straight through has accumulated up until now to 5 p.m. or actually 3 p.m. closing time Thursday evening. So this is the only way I can fit these 2 weeks in. It's important that you see it. To me, it is. And so I put this together and hopefully you can understand what I'm trying to explain here. So we've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, including July 4th, where it trades till noon and then starts back at 5 o'clock and then trades on Wednesday and Thursday. Okay, here we are, and we're going to see this is Friday. We're going to look at a performance report as soon as this gets to the end of the day. Okay, we're going to turn it back on here. Okay, so this is Thursday evening. We're up 1625 for the week on the 3 instruments. You can see up there gold is up 675. Nasdaq is up 920. Really a good week for Nasdaq. And crude oil only made $30. I think it was up during the week and gave it back. It had a loss. And you see a loss here on gold. It had a loss overnight. Let's see. Yeah. So you're down to 1350 so far for the week of July 2nd through the 7th. But we still have Friday. We're going to run it through Friday.
Order pending.
Okay, you see a blue line here on Nasdaq. Gold is finished. Gold is not trading. It's already stopped out.
Order filled. Order filled.
Crude oil hit a target, so it's up 305. Its target is $310 target minus $5 commission.
Order filled. Order pending. Order pending.
You see these yellow dots? That's a limit order. We make it come back to us. The nice thing about the way we have the system here on the springtime trade is we do not get slipped on our entry. We had a lot of problems in the past with getting slipped on gold and crude oil especially. The Nasdaq is so much better because it's an index, doesn't get affected. Okay, you see, Nasdaq turned right around, had 2 wins back to back.
Order filled.
Okay, bingo. It made $485. It hit its $400 daily target. It's done. It's about 8:30 in the morning on Friday morning. That's when the market opens for Nasdaq. Crude oil opens around 8 a.m. and gold about 7:20 a.m. As you see the ones here that say daily profit limit 400 is reached, accumulated 485 on Nasdaq. On gold, daily loss limit of 250, we have a small loss limit, has been reached. It lost 275. Now, crude oil is up 305. It could still take another trade. But we have these trades limited, and I'm not sure, but crude oil may have already hit its trading limit for the day, even though it didn't hit its daily target or daily loss. It's a real nice feature because they don't overtrade. So I don't think crude oil is going to trade anymore, but we'll take a look here. I don't think it is, but we're running it anyway. We're just going to run it right through. Now, here's the end of the day of the first week. So this is the end of Friday, July 7th. And we're going to look now at the performance report and get an idea of what happened. And you see, you set your times, your dates. We want to go from the 2nd to the 7th. And we want to generate the report. Okay, now there's your numbers right there. You see your total net profit of $21.40. Now, if you look over here in your Ninja Domes, you're flat, and each one of them have that number. So that's the total for the week. Okay. The commission was $170. The drawdown was $700 during the week. At one point, it went down $700, and that's a good number actually. The amount of trades, 34, and the percent profitable for the whole week was 73.53%. So that's a very good number. It's exceptional for automation. Okay, let's take a look at the periods and see what it did each and every day. Now, remember the first day, if I'm going to stop it here, we had a total of like $720 for from Sunday night till Monday afternoon. Well, there you go, Sunday and Monday together. And then each day after that, you had 185. It lost. That would have been Tuesday. Wednesday had a big day of $1,000, and then it lost 200 and made 790 on Friday. So not just a good week, but a great week for 3 contracts. You got to remember, we're only trading 1 contract on each one of these charts. So, okay, now this is what goes on. The video now moves. I pause it again, and then it moves to the Sunday night, which is the July 9th, around 5 p.m. And as soon as I click it back on, you're going to see that date change up here from 7/7 to 7/9. And we're going to run the whole rest of the week. But keep in mind, we're starting the second week with 2140. This is uninterrupted. And this is accumulation of the 2 weeks together. 2 very different weeks, too, of trading. We had more of a normal week, obviously, this past week. So, but the week before had a lot of obstacles. But as you see, the system did good. It did better than I thought it would do. There it is. You see 7/9. So this is Sunday night. This is the white line on Sunday night. You see it down here on the crude chart, 7/9. That's the date. So this is an accumulation. This is how you run 1 week after another consecutive. We just never had enough time to show everyone because our 60 minutes or, it's hard to get everything in.
Order pending.
Okay, you see we have a blue line here on crude oil and a blue line here on gold. All in the evening hours. Okay, you can look over here. You can see we're in a long on gold and a long on crude oil. Now going our way.
Order filled.
And every now and then you're going to have a nice loss. Nothing you can do about it.
Order filled.
Okay, we got something back from gold to help out that loss we got.
Order pending. Order pending.
And another loss on Nasdaq. And if you remember, the first Monday was a great Monday. We made really good money. Made $720. Well, you're probably going to lose $720 today on this Monday. And it just works like that. We can't quite understand it. We wish we could figure that out.
Order pending.
We've joked around about having some settings for 1 week and then change the settings for the next week, and you probably do good. Well,
order filled.
There may be some truth to that.
Order pending. Order filled.
And we found that if you're not getting to your target quickly, there's no need to keep trading.
Order
So
pending.
we'd rather
Order
stop
pending.
trading and than
Order
and not
filled.
overtrade. Well, you lost money. You was at 21.40 and now you're back down to 16.30, but you have to leave the system on. Because it'll take another day to make that money back. You did make 225 on gold, but you lost 300 on Nasdaq and 425 on crude oil. And this is part of trading. You know, we don't like this part, but it is what it is. Now we have limited gold on these settings, and we found that it's doing well. Most of the time, it'll only trade once a day, which is great because that trade comes at a good time, usually in the morning, sometimes overnight, and you're done. Talking about overnight trading, I've mentioned this before. We do trade on servers. We have servers that run our system overnight, and that's proven to be effective, very effective. They don't lose internet connection. And instead of trying to stay up with buying a fast computer, if you get a server, you solve your problem.
Order filled.
Okay, now what you see on gold here, you hardly ever see, but it happens, or it can happen. And that's the worst you see on gold right there, the way this is set now. You have a blue line on the Nasdaq. So this is Monday evening going into Tuesday on the second week. And you can remember we were up at 21.40, but we're still trading.
Order pending.
Uninterrupted.
Order pending. Order filled. Order filled.
Okay, well that helped a little bit. We go for 27 ticks on the Nasdaq, 23 ticks on gold, and 31 ticks on crude is our targets. But you can look up here and see the Nasdaq index. It's just doing fine. It always is. It's a stellar performer with Nasdaq. You can just trade Nasdaq and be fine. Now, if you wanted to trade just a little bit once a day and add contracts, well, then gold could certainly do that the way that it's set. This Nasdaq trade is so good, and some professional traders have seen it, that they're talking to us for their people in their market. So, look, we don't know what the future holds. There's two wins. This thing almost stopped out, and you saw it hit one and got in another one because it had its momentum in that direction. And you see now, bingo, you made $400 in Nasdaq. Just Nasdaq, one contract. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. We know what's good, and that is exceptional because it's inexpensive to trade. It's easy to put a number of contracts on that. So again, there you go. See, it's up 14.95, and we're just a week and a couple of days, and a tough week at that. The week before. So we're excited. We know this Nasdaq index really works. The next task that we're going to tackle is some of these instruments, like the indexes, like the Dow E-mini, and then recently they brought the Russell back to the CME, and we're going to see what we can do with the Russell as well. But as we develop settings, our members get those settings for free. We don't charge them. We just send them out as we get them and develop them. We try not to rush settings out because we have to look at them a while. This takes a lot of time. It's really not easy. It's not just putting something up there and guessing at it. You have to really do a lot of due diligence to see that, okay, over time these work. But the indexes work exceptionally well like this because they're not affected by every little report that comes out. Crude oil and gold, they sporadic in that way. But we've been able to slow gold down to where it doesn't trade much, so we'll take a little bit. And we're still working with crude oil. We have the settings now, and we still will be working with crude oil going forward in that same manner. The nice thing is it still creates diversification because when the Nasdaq loses, the other ones usually don't. So this is your diversification. And if you can afford to, you might have several other charts on here, just with one contract. I mean, we recommend that. That's the best way to trade. One contract, several different trades. Even if they're some of them on the same index or some of the same instrument, then when they're getting in differently, we have a lot of flexibility in the adjustments on this system. Now, it's certainly not too much of a stretch to say that if you purchase this system, that you couldn't develop better settings than we have. That's quite possible. That's quite possible. But we're working at it. We're working hard. We understand how this works. We try to explain and teach everyone about the system and what these parameters do, because you can just about create whatever you can think of to get the system to do. But does it work over long term? That's what you have to look at and consider. and it takes time to develop this. Okay, we are I believe this is Wednesday morning. This is the past Wednesday morning. On Wednesday we have crude oil inventories. That's a big mover on gold. I mean, on crude oil. Gold does move too, but especially crude oil. It's a high impact report. And crude can trade. It's ready to trade. We made 225 on gold. We're up 130 on Nasdaq, trying to get to a second target. And we got to a second target. Okay. And now it wants to trade long. So you never know. See, that one didn't work. But it's okay. It's all right. It will find its own. But when it's going back and forth sideways, back and forth, that's what we want to be careful of. That's what we want to not allow the system to overtrade. Okay, you see, it lost. It hit its limit, this loss limit of 200, so it lost 200 for the day on Nasdaq. Made 225 on gold, so now we're waiting for crude oil. It's going to blast off here as we approach that report. It's amazing. That's amazing. That is just amazing. The nice thing about this, now we're running at 500 speed. It doesn't move that fast. Okay, there you go. It's 485 and that quick. But we saw it in 10 seconds, but that was actually 15 minutes of trading. It's moving, but not quite that fast. The nice thing is nothing crashed, and it was able to hang in there and handle that volume. Okay, I'm not sure that crude oil is going to trade again, but it's up 485. So we lost 200 on Nasdaq, and we made 225. So that cancels those two out. So you made almost $500, and you didn't have a great day. And you ran it right through the crude oil inventories report. All right, so here we are on Wednesday. If you remember on Monday, we started with 2140. So it took, we lost the first day on Monday. Then Tuesday, recuperated some. And then now we're up about $400 in profit, but almost $400 in profit. And it's the end of Wednesday. So you see, you have to leave this stuff on. So if you have a couple of good days like Thursday and Friday, well, you can still have a good week when the week started off and it was shitty. The Monday was a disaster. But you lost money, but you're still able to go forward and keep trading. Now, the Monday prior, you saw that day, and it was a great Monday. You made 720 that day. And then it made money pretty steady all week, lost a couple hundred one day. But when it's making money, it usually makes good money. So you have to leave it on. And nobody likes to lose, but take it from experience. If you're interested in this system, once you have it and put it on and trade it, you need to leave it alone, because we cannot outguess the market. We think we geniuses, but we can't do that. It doesn't work that way, because the market is the market, and the market obviously is showing good results and good returns here, but you have to leave it on. I have no idea where those sounds come from, but that's the computer winding up, I guess. Now you see the market, you see the times. They trade the market overnight. That's why it's good to be trading. As you see, all of the instruments here have the blue line. They can trade. Now, let's see. It's the 13th. It's still the 13th.
Order pending.
So this will be Thursday morning.
Order pending.
This past Thursday morning of trading.
Order filled.
And you had a partial win again on crude oil.
Order pending. Order filled.
Okay. We had a win again on gold. Gold is pretty steady. Just one trade a day. Very easy to trade. One contract on that.
Order pending.
Nasdaq missed a trade. You see the yellow dots. Well, that means it missed a trade. And we make it come backwards about 4 ticks on this setting. If you could lower it to maybe 2 ticks and catch that trade, even 1 tick, the whole advantage is to get it to come back some, even if it's 1 tick, so you don't get slipped on your order.
Order pending. Order filled.
Well, you had 2 quick wins there.
Order pending.
Well, we're doing nicely because now we're at $3,000.
Order pending.
And it's Thursday morning around 9:30, 9:40, 10 o'clock.
Order pending.
And the only way to show all of this is to put it on 500 speed. It would be nice to run it slower to see it better. But I will have a copy of this video and you can look at it again. Okay, well, Nasdaq accumulated $60 this day. Gold hit 225 on 1 trade. That was it, 1 trade. And crude oil went back and forth. Well, no, I think it just did its 1 trade. So it's up 125. And it's almost the end of the day. So, yep, 3 p.m. right here. You see it. That's it. No more trading. So now we're going to go into Friday. This is the last day of trading. So hang in there, guys. We're almost done. I want to show you the performance report and talk a little bit. Okay, the gold, it moved quickly, and so, okay, it can trade now. So that'll be our first one trading, more than likely. It looks a little sideways here. Now the Nasdaq is able to trade. And, it just depends. Sometimes they move in the night, and sometimes they're slow. Here goes crude. It's starting to move. Okay, we're in a gold, and we're long. You can see it right here. And right here tells you 1L. That means we're long on gold, and we're up. Okay. Now we're long on the Nasdaq.
Order pending. Order pending.
Crude oil can trade. And it got in. And it hit its quick target. So that's 300 right there. Now, it doesn't happen that quick in real life. We're running at 500 speed. So, but it happens. You just got to be patient. And the less attention you pay to it, the better. So what happened this week is you started off slow, losing Monday. You must have lost $800 or $900 on Monday. And then recouping that on Tuesday, getting back into profit on Wednesday, had a decent Thursday, and now Friday's looking real good.
Order pending. Order filled.
Very nice. You hit your target on gold almost every day. You're up 300 on crude oil. And look at you now over here. You've accumulated $3,700 so far in the 2 weeks.
Order pending.
Now it's just opening. The market's just opening here in U.S. in the morning. So let's see where we go. Okay, we hit the target, easy target on Nasdaq. And that's done. That's finished trading. You finished trading on gold, so that was good. And you have 300 here if you don't give it back on crude oil. If you have some questions, you can start typing them in and asking questions. Because we're going to be finished here shortly, but we're going to see the performance report for the 2 weeks. I don't think crude is going to take another trade. Now, you can see up top, remember after the first week, crude was, negative $30? Look what it did in this week. It made $1,130. That's good. One contract. Gold, it made $960. That's great. It doesn't trade much. Oh, it's really just once a day. And then Nasdaq, 1745. That's sensational when you consider that the Nasdaq index is half the price of gold and crude oil. And look at that. So it really, really works well on Nasdaq. And if that's all you want to trade, we have several different settings that we like on the Nasdaq. Now, we're finished. Our total is $3,835 for the week, for the 2 weeks combined. And now we're going to be looking at the performance report right here. So we had 2140. Now we're going to generate this, and we're going to go move it up now to 3835. So what's that? An additional 1675. Okay. Commission now is 365 for the 2 weeks. Profit factor is 2.0, which is considered to be really good. Maximum drawdown is 850. We were 700 the first week. This one combined is 850. The 2nd through the 14th, you see it there. You see 2 different weeks. You see a holiday week and a regular week. We had 73 total trades at 68.49%. So for all practical purposes, you couldn't ask for more on any system. Now let's look at the daily periods. Remember the first day you made 720? Okay, well, that 720 shows up here. You lost money. You lost 185. You made 1,000. You lost 200. You made 790. This week, remember, you lost 850. I knew it was around 800 or 900. Then you made 705, 510, 410, and 920. So that's a great week. That's a great week in automation. And this is untouched. This is some questions are, can you start the system and let it run all week? The answer is yes, you could. Preferably on a server. You want to check it throughout the week. You want to see what it's done and make sure that your server doesn't reboot itself. You have to set the thing so it doesn't do that. If you turn off your computer, the service can still run with everything running on it. It doesn't affect it at all. So you're not really governed by your computer and your home internet or your office internet um, uh, connections. A server is a nice way to go if you're going to trade like this. Okay, well, I have no idea what this is, but anyway, we'll go back to the website and we will talk a little bit about this before we conclude our webinar. We have a coupon that we always share with our attendees, and it's a $200 discount. And if you want that coupon, it is ACT 24200. So it's ACT 24200. And to get that, if you want to make a purchase, you just go right here, you add to cart, you want to view cart, it's going to say coupon code ACT 24200, then you apply the coupon, it should give you a discount of $200, and that's your price, and you proceed to check out from there. So pretty easy. If you forget what the coupon is and you're interested, you want to give me a call. I would imagine most people who are interested, they'll give me a call anyway to talk more about the system. We're excited about this because we know we have a winning system that's working consistently. And you can start by trading, we recommend you just start with one contract. But you can, again, we have this now. We've been around for a number of years. We do have some interest in our system, and I don't want to say this prematurely, but something could happen whereas we stop giving webinars and we do some kind of agreement with a brokerage firm that has 1,000 clients that they want to trade this for their clients, and we become bound not to put it on the market like this. So it's possible it could happen. We have some people we're already talking to, and this is not an expensive system, and it's very versatile. It's adjustable, and you can make it whatever you want. So consider it if you want to do some automated trading. As you see, I didn't touch anything the whole 2 weeks. It runs the whole. No, it's okay. One of the questions is on the coupon, it's small letters. ACT 24200. It's small letters. And if we have any more questions, let me check. If you want to talk more about it, we're available. You can send me an email and give me a call. We have a number up here, and I usually answer that. If you have a restricted number, it's hard for me to answer restricted numbers because we get so many of these calls now, unknown name, restricted numbers. Leave a message. I'll call you back. If you leave a message, I'm going to call you back. So I would imagine people have some questions and they're going to need some help. We usually would take a person who doesn't know anything about trading and charge them $500 extra to set them all up, to get them set them up from the beginning to the end, show them what they need. If they want a server, help them get that, connect it, download it, activate it, teach them how to come to a push button operation. Well, we've done that. Actually, I've done that for clients, but not charging them $500 just to help them. You want to help people. You want to help people get going and get them involved. And it's exciting when they give you good news that they're doing good. So we're more than happy to help you get set up, answer questions. This is easy to do if you follow some simple steps. So seeing all that, we have used up almost all of our time. We are we like Kathy at Online Central Trading. I've developed a friendship with her over the years, and we don't really advertise anywhere else. We also do our own trading. So these webinars are nice to get out and show people different things that we're doing. What you get in the system is you get the ACT spring trade and then the springtime trade. There's a difference between the two trades. We're showing the springtime because we are really excited about it, and we will explain everything about the two different systems that you get in this package. And we don't see us moving away from the spring system because this is working. It's working. It's working well. We will develop new settings. We will give these settings to our members. We give everything we can come up with to the members. We want them to do good. And we're here to help. So give us a call or send us an email and let us know what you think. Okay, well, Kathy, I think this probably wraps up I think we did well. We didn't go over, and we covered a lot of ground. I'm happy. I'm sorry about the mess up in the beginning with the hitting the button and moving the video without explaining it, but we recovered from that. There was a few minutes extra, but thank you all for remaining in the room and listening to what we have to say. We were happy to talk to you and hope that you consider us for automated trading. And as having said all that, Kathy, I think we are concluding our video and webinar. And thank you so much for your help.
And we want to thank